Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing Ligature. Now, if you've not, it's not necessarily a term that people are going to be overly familiar with. I really got into it fairly recently when I was doing a lot of music and looking at music fonts, and then I realized that this is sort of a thing where there's a whole science and an art behind, the distance between certain elements of each character and where it is versus the line height, the element height, and where the center is, where the extension of a G is, where the extension of an F is, etc. So you've got there Sleuth doing exactly that, which is studying it very closely with a magnifying glass just to be able to inspect it all, I guess. Now, today's puzzle is once again from James Sinclair's fantastic series. As usual, I've prepared a second one just on the off chance that the first puzzle is just like an absolute breeze, which some of them have been sometimes, so I've got a backup just in case. As usual, of course, if my solve time is ridiculous for how easy it is, we're probably going to stick with the one puzzle. Anyhow, that's enough of an introduction. Let's take a look at today's puzzle and rule sets with Ligature from, I think it's actually the first one is from James Sinclair, and the following set of rules. Now, I can kind of see the reference to the title with the fact that there's like an L shape or upside down L, kind of a mirrored L over here. Kind of makes sense. Rule-wise, normal Sudoku rules apply, means place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, in every column, and in every 3x3 box. It does say all clues are standard, but I just want to double check something on the killer cages. The sum of the digits inside each cage is equal to the small number in the top left corners, and digits cannot repeat within the cage. I just wanted to double check that it does state that. So, for example, this 2 cells have to add up to 5. So if that's a 2, this would have to be a 3. Now, very explicitly stated, digits cannot repeat. Some of the cages, the only real cages that would come across this rule is the 36 cage, and I don't particularly want to explain that. It just means that even though these cells, for example, are not in the same row, column, or box, technically they would repeat under normal Sudoku rules, or could repeat, but under the killer cage rules, they cannot. So, that's all the rules we have for today. As always, if you want to play along, link will be in the description down below for you to do so. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. Now, I noticed that there were a bunch of cages, like the 4 here, where they're entirely 4. So this is 1, 3, this is 1, 2, this is 7, 9. 7 and 9 now, looking at the 14 cage, so it can't be 5, 9, this is 6, 8. 6, well, I was going to say 6, but an 8, but that doesn't actually mean that makes much of an impact for the 7. So this is clearly not 1, 6. But it can be 2, 5, and it can be 3, 4. Now, if it is 2, 5, the 2 would be here, and the 3 and 4 could be anywhere. That's not the best example to focus in on. Let's keep going. There was a few other forced cages, I think. Yeah, 17 here with 8 and 9. And then right now, nothing else really stands out other than the 36 cages. Let me just double check. There's a bunch of cages like the 5s, the 15s, etc., that can only be one of 2 variants in a 6. And it may be worthwhile taking a look at these in a second, but let me just talk about the 36 cage. So I'm imagining that this is 8 cells. It just looked like a very large cage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, and I'm guessing that is a rotational image. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So essentially what we know is that 9 is not inside this. We need 8 unique digits that sum up to 36. You can think about it as the sum of 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 9 would be 45. And essentially there is a gap of 9 here between the 45 and the 36, which can only be filled with a 9. Right. How's that helping me? Good question. I don't know. Is it the 9 cage? Like 6 and 8 means it's not 1, 8, it's not 3, 6. can be 4-5 and can be 2-7. So I am going to, and if it's 7, that would be the 7, that would be the 2, and if it's 4-5, either is possible. The 13 cage, no, this doesn't feel like it. It does just feel like I'm going up the wrong tree there. I'm kind of wondering if I should be combining cages or if I'm just overcomplicating it. Overcomplicating it is my thing, really. So let me think about this. So the 5 cage has a 1 or 2 inside because it's either 1-4 or 2-3, and then there's another 1 or 2 in here. So that 1 or 2 that's inside the 5 cage has to be up here, and it can't be inside the 15 cage. So we know that there is a 1 or 2 essentially up here with a 6 or 7 to accompany the 8. Yeah, interesting. No 9s. Okay, so remember, no 9s, no 9s. 9 is in one of all of these cells, which is not very good. I mean, interesting, but not interesting enough to actually pencil mark anything. Kind of wondering if I should be paying attention to sort of kind of the negative space, so to speak. I genuinely not sure where to go next, so I'm wondering if I should just pencil mark a whole lot and kind of see where it takes me, but I just feel like I'll be missing the point of the puzzle if that's what I do. Let me think about this, for example. So the 1 and 2, they're not in here, but we know that they're inside the 36 cage in one of these cells. And therefore, that can't be 1 or 2, and therefore that can't be 6 or 7. Yeah, this is like, feels like I'm clutching at straws. And then there is a 1 or 2 in here that I know is in none of these cells. Interesting. And would have to be in here. And therefore, like the 1 and 2 are essentially kind of used amongst these cells. And it's a different 1 and 2 that's from the one that's in here. I feel like I'm overcomplicating this. Maybe I just need to just stare at this for a bit to figure out what's going on. Such as, I said the 36 cage does not have a 9. No 9, definitely no 9 inside the 5 cage. That can only be a 9 in column 2. So that's 8, that's 9. That means that there's a 9 in one of these 3 cells, and again, not inside the 36 gauge, it's not 6 or 8, that is a 9. So that's 9, that's 3, that gives me 1 and 3. Same logic again, no 9s. Where's the 9 in column 8? Can only be up here. It doesn't actually help me with the 7 and 9. And therefore, this 15 cage is not 6, 9, it is 7, 8. Which means this has to be 6 because this can't be 7, and therefore this is a 2. Also means now that this is a 2, 3, doesn't it? Yeah, because we don't have a 1 up here, and the 1 there would have forced a 1 in there. And since there isn't any, if I put it in there, I've broken the puzzle. So that has to be 2, 3. And the 6 now is in none of these cells. The 6 has to be in here to fit in inside this 36 cage. Yeah, this is starting to get interesting. Right, so this cell, for example, has to be in here. That's kind of the logic of it. And let's see what we can do. So the 4, 5, 7, whatever this is, has to be in here, for example. So this is 4, 5, or 7, depending on what this is. This 13 cage, well, it's not 9, 4, it's not 8, 5, it is 6, 7, which means none of these are 7s. And it also means that this is, well, since I removed the 7, I removed the 2. This is a 4, 5 pair. 4, 5, I did say this is either 2, 5 or 3, 4. So essentially I have a virtual 4, 5 pair between here. And I'm guessing like this is 1, 2, 3. Essentially that's the missing digit. So 4, 5, 4, 5, 7, 9, 6, and 8. I'm missing a 1, 2, 3. Can't be a double 1, 2. That's a 3. Therefore, this is not 3 and 4. What am I doing? So I said this is not 3, 4, this is 5, 2. That's the 5, that's the 2, which brings me a 1, a 2, etc. Now remember, this 2 is in none of these cells, and it had to be down here, so that's a 2. That makes the 6 gauge 1, 5. To be fair, that 2 already did that for me. And the 9 means that this is not 5, 9, this is 6, 8. And again, that 9 did that for me. These two cells now are 4, 7, and the 7 is not here. That's the 7, that's the 4. Right, let's see if we can pull a similar trick, kind of rotationally symmetrical, back to whatever's going on in here. Let's have a think about this. 2 means this is 1, 4. This 1, 4 is in none of these cells. It has to be in here, which isn't a 1. So that's 4. That's 4. That's 1. 4 means, I mean, we already knew this is not 4, 9. It can be 5, 8, and it could be 6, 7. Now, I do have 6, 7, and I do have 5, 8. So all of these have to, like, not go here. They have to be in these cells. And the 6 is interesting. It's not there. So one possibility, of course, is this is 6, 9. The other possibility is this is 6, 7. And in fact, the 6, 8 in here means that this is 7, this is 6. So it kind of works. Now, we still need to figure out what's going on with the 5, 8. So the 5, 8 I can still place in here, technically. And presumably, I can't place a 5 in here, but I could place an 8 and a 7. I don't know if I'm pencil marking these correctly. What's wrong with this being 7 and this being 8, for example? Yeah, I'm just going to delete this for now, because I'm not convinced I've thought about this correctly. Can this be 6, 9, or is it 7, 8? It can't be 7, 8. It is 6, 9. That 6 tells me that's the 6, that's the 9, which tells me that this is not 6, 7. It tells me that's 5, 8. I still need to place a 6 somewhere, and it's not here, and it's none of these. That is a 6, that is a 9. That gives me the 7 and 9 across. That 1 and 5, actually, no, it doesn't help. That 11 is not 9, 2, it's not 5, 6, and it's not 3, 8. I think this is forced as 4, 7, which means this 13 is not 6, 7, it's not 4, 9, it has to be 5, 8. I mean, it's probably, yeah, 8 and 5, and then I know what this digit is. It's a 3. I know what these two are. I'm sure I can resolve them. I need a 2 and a 7, and the 7 once again is in here, and the 2 is in there. Lovely. The 8 gives me 7 and 8. The 12 is probably resolvable, but let me just think about what the rest is. We need a 1 inside the 36 cage. This is the only place that's left for it. We need a 2, which isn't in here, so it's one of these cells. I need a 3, which again can't be any of these. That's the 3. I've got the 4. I need a 5, which is any of them, and I need an 8, which is any of them. Not brilliant. Right, this 4, 5, I said something about them being, oh yeah, I can resolve that. That's 5, hang on, that's 4, that's 5. This 5 is this 5, which gives me 8 and 5, 6 and 8. And I need a 1 in one of these cells. That's 1. I've got 2. I need a 3, which can't be any of these. It's a 3. I need 4, 6, and 8. It's interesting that these are not easily resolved for some reason. I don't quite get it, but right, that's a 1. That's a 7. This is not 1 or 5, this is 2 or 4. It gives me a digit in here, which is the 3, which gives me 2, 3. Doesn't help me with my 2, 4. Probably this does. 6, 8. This is a known digit. That's a 4. That's 2, 4. 12 now is not 4, 8. It's not 3, 9. It is 5, 7. And the order is 5 and 7, which gives me a 9 in here and a known digit there, a 1. Excellent. We're kind of towards the end of the puzzle now. 1s. Not very useful. Where is the 2? 2s. How about the 3? I can just actually place a 3 for a change. 3, 4 is somewhere along here, and it's any of them. 5 is, again, joining it. 6 now is in joining the 2. So this is a 2-6 pair. That's a 1, that's a 5, that's a 1. This is not 5, that's an 8. These are not 8. That's 4. 8. Oh, hang on. What have I done? Done something. What am I missing? I've pencil marked something poorly. Yes, I've pencil marked something poorly. That was meant to be 4, 5, 9. That is 1, 2, 6. So, like, I'm not mad here. And that isn't a 6 or a 2. That is a 1, which gives me, hang on, 5, 1, 8, 4, 9, 7. That's a bit better. 4, no 9s, no 8s. Looking much better this time. 4s, no 1s. And this is probably going to bring it home now if I can just... Actually, the 4 already does a bit of work. 5 and 4, 2 and 5, 2 and 6, 8 and 6. Excellent. And then I need a 7, which can only be in here, and then an 8 for the finish. Lovely puzzle, Mr. Sinclair. Another excellent puzzle. 13-minute solve. How are we doing for time? I'm going to go for one more. Not sure that's the right decision, but I am going to go for one more with Dovetails from Raumplaner and the following set of rules. So, normal Sudoku rules apply. I'm not going to cover that. Any set of 3 sequential cells along the peach entropic lines must contain a low, 1, 2, 3, a medium, 4, 5, 6, and a high, 7, 8, 9 digit. Now, remember, it doesn't have to be in that order. So I could decide, for example, that this is 4, 5, 6, then this is 1, 2, 3, then this is 7, 8, 9. As long as it's always every 3 consecutive digits along the line have one of each of that set, you're good to go. Obviously, that continues. So if I've got medium, low, high, well, I've got low, high. That has to be medium. That will be 4, 5, 6 again. Then, of course, we've got the quadruples. The digits in circles must appear in the 4 surrounding cells. If a digit repeats in a circle, it must appear twice. Interesting. Right, so what does that mean? Essentially, you can just pencil mark these as 1, 1, 6, 9. Not a double 1, obviously, because that would just remove it. But notice the emphasis on if the digit appears twice. They're all 4 cells anyway. 4 numbers in the quadruple circle, so it doesn't matter. But at least it tells you which one is the repeated digit. Right, that's all the rules we have for today. As always, link in the description down below for number 2. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I got on. So what I'm noticing here... what I'm going to do quickly is just color. So every 3rd digit has to be the same entropy. So skip 2, next one, skip 2, next one, skip 2, next one, and again. So all of these, I'm going to call them, I have no idea what they are, but they're purple. And therefore, all of the digits after purple are going to be the same entropy of, we'll call them green. And then the last ones after green, I'm going to call them orange. Now, the reason I've done that is I noticed in box 2 that all of these are 1, 2, 3, 9. And that immediately gives me that orange has got to be low. Essentially, I have 3 low digits and only 1 high digit. The fact that these 2 are orange tells me that the only repeated entropy is low. So orange is blue. And therefore no 9s in here. Also means obviously all of these now, all the blue digits are 1, 2, 3. That gives me my 1. Notice this would have to be a 1 as well, because to get the double digit in this quadruple, it has to be at a diagonal, and this is a 6, 9 pair. That 1 removes 1, 1, 1, and obviously 1 in here as well. So we've got blues, we've got greens. This is essentially either green or blue, depending on what this is, which we don't know yet. Green is also sorted. Yeah, not too sure actually. There's double 3. So again, 3 and 3. Useful thing about this, of course, is it actually gives me the rest of the entropy. Well, kind of the rest of the entropy on this one. So all of these are low. I'm not going to use the same color until I can resolve it. So I'm going to use different colors. I know that actually I can use the same colors because I know that this is not blue and I know it's not green because it's 6 and 9. They have to be different. So this is purple. So the digit after blue is purple. I still don't know what that means, only that it's different. And the digit before blue is therefore going to be green. And we can see that works in here because this is a 4, 7, just like this is a 6, 9. 4, 5, 7, 8, not helpful in terms of revealing what's going on there. It does actually give me the 3s and the 2s in here. So I can actually get kind of the next break into this line. And it does tell me that this is, remember, every 2 cells are blue. And 5 and 8, again, they have to be different in color. So this is going to be purple. So the digit after the blue is purple. And then the digit after purple is green. And that is actually helpful with the 7, 8 in there. That will give me my much desired break-in. I'll show you in a second. Done. That's all of them colored. Right. No, it doesn't actually help me. Sorry, I've thought for a second that these had like they were weighted to one or the other. So this is 4, 5, 7, 8, which means I have 2 mediums and 2 highs. And I don't actually know what it is. Because either this is 4, 5, and this would be 6, possible. And then that would be 6, and this would be 4, 5. And yeah, that would be 5. That's all possible. If this is 7, 8, that would be 9, and then that would be 9. Not brilliant. I'm just going to try and find something that... So where is it that I have something that breaks this pattern? No, 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 no. Here. Well, I've got 1, 2, 3, just like I've got it up there. 1, 2, 3, 6, 1, 2, 3, 9. So this is not 1 or 2. So these are clearly 1, 2, 3. This is not a 2 though. And then in here, I have to have a 6. Again, it's 1, 2, 3, 6, and this is not a 2. So I need to figure out between these two what green and purple are, basically, somehow. These are not 3s. This is not a 2. That's 1. That's 2. These are not 2s. That's 3. That's not 2 or 3. That's 1. These are not 1s. None of these are 3s. This is a 2, 9 pair. That 3 gives me a 2, which gives me the 9, which gives me the 2. Helpful, I think. Helpful. I still need a third blue, which can only be this cell now. And therefore, I now know that purple must include 9. So purple is high. Green is yellow for medium. And we have kind of everything that we need to at least do this bit. And we'll come back to that. 6, 9, 4, 7. Then we can probably color all of the missing squares because we know that this, for example, has to be yellow and it's not 5 or 6, it's 4, which means that's 5. 4 and 6, that's 5. 5 and not 4, that's 6. That's 4, that's 5. You know, sorry, having a loading, that's 6. 6 and 5, 6 and 4, one of these is a 5, I don't actually know. Let's keep going. 4 and 6 gives me 5. 5 and 6 gives me 4. gives me 6. We know that this was 4, 5, and that 5 tells me that's 4, that's 5. This is 7, 8. Remember, we talked about this in the beginning, so that's 9. And therefore, this is 7, 8. This is 4, 5. And in fact, we do know the order, so that's 5, that's 4. Have I done all the quadruples? I mean, not this one, so no 3s. Just Sudoku, and no 2s. We've done that. 2 and 3 means that's a 1. 1 and 2, that's a 3. 3 and 1, that's a 2. That's a 1. That gives me 2. That is not 1 or 2, that's 6. And therefore not 6. This is a 1-3 pair. That's got to be high, that's got to be low. I've got 3 lows, I need 3 highs. That's not 7 or 9, that's 8, that's 7. It's going to go fairly quickly from here, I think. That's got to be 8, that's got to be 9. I say it's going to go fairly quickly and then immediately pauses. That's got to be 5. That is 7 or 8, not very helpful. That's again another 7 or 8, still not very helpful. I'm going to just write in a whole bunch of 7, 8 pairs, and therefore that's got to be 9. I will keep coloring. I've got one of each. Where is, yeah, 4, 5 gives me 6, gives me 4. I need a 2, which isn't here. That's the 2. That's got to be high, and it's 7 or 8, but it's not 8. That's 7, that's 8, that's 7. It doesn't keep going, though. That's 8. I need 9 in one of these 2 cells. Hang on, how did I end up with 6 being high? Better. Come on. There, better. Right, that's 3. 1 or 2, that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 1. I think that's all the low digits done. No, 1, done. Medium with 5, not 5 or 6, 4. I need a 6 in one of these, that's the 6. That's the high, which is a 9. I think we're going to finish fairly quickly. 8 and 9, that's 7, that's not 7 or 8, that's 9, that's 8. That's 6. I need a 4, which is in here, and this is high. This is medium. I think we've done all the mediums now, haven't we? 4, 5, 6s, 1, 2, 3s, yep. Let's just finish off the 7, 8, 9s. That's 9, that's 7, that's 8, that's 7, 8, 7, 8, 7. Lovely puzzle. That was even faster than the first one. I'm kind of glad that we actually went for it. This one was rated slightly harder. I was probably slower on the first solve as opposed to this wasn't as difficult as it was meant to be. 2 fantastic puzzles though, so I hope you guys enjoyed the 2 puzzles and the video, of course. I'll see you back for the next one. Bye-bye for now.